Good evening, Chairwoman Carter, Pro Tem, Bruce Patterson, Garwood. Unfortunately, I got the agenda, with not too much time to transpose questions, but I'll try to pick up a couple items. Page 1, number 390, actually, the first resolution. Linden, the city of Linden, and this is obviously an older resolution. It was receiving $195,000, and then you increased it $20,000 to $215,000 for street resurfacing. To me, I'm befuddled on this. Why the county is actually giving Linden these monies, unless it's a pass-through, but Garwood normally goes forth for resurfacing, getting DOT grants. For some reason, this is a county grant. I'm going to need a little more explanation on that, because on the surface, it just doesn't look right that you're paying for the surfacing and not the DOT. On page 4, number 410, I do appreciate Mr. Yeska's efforts in this reverse auction. I've always seen nothing but good things come from it. I've been on the other side where you have to really cut your throat to achieve a winning number, and obviously this is another case, so I do applaud the county for that. The savings is approximately $350,000 a year from the previous meeting that we just had, or thereabouts. But I guess my question for this is this a found savings where you can take this $350,000 and put it back into the budget? Because to me, I've pressed this issue before. We're laying off correction officers, and to me that is a true purpose of county government, safety and security, and we've already faced a lot of escapes and even deaths in there, and it's due to the force being down men, and now you're laying off more. So I would hope if this is found money, that it goes to this purpose of correction officers, because we've had a weak link over there. Like I said, I had problems transposing because I didn't have enough time, but let me see if I could review. You're going to have to give me some latitude while I have my 5 minutes. Oh yeah, one thing, and maybe Council Barry just kind of misused some words, but it was a resolution. It was the Office of Union County Prosecutor was introducing 2 resolutions, and he actually noted, since Romanco's not here, Al Cernatus usually steps up, and he said Al Cernatus is presently on trial. Bad news jumped in my head. I guess he's attending a trial. I don't know which resolutions these 2 were, but I would hope it was just misspoken, and he's just attending the trial. As to anything else, there were a couple of reductions on insurance, which I would thank the county on, and I'll end it at that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patterson. We'll have
Freeholder, I'm going to ask Deputy Director Roundtree to answer that. She's been working on this project with the City of Linden.
Thank you.
For you, Madam Chairwoman. This is part of the CDBG funding. 19 communities get CDBG funding through the county CDRS committee. They voted on it. And as the director said previously, they just didn't expect the prices to go as high. So it's through the Community Development Block Grant Program, and it's federal funding.
Thank you. I'll ask Ms. Taylor to come up for 410.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. Regarding Resolution 2012-410, any savings realized as a result of contracts prior to adoption of the budget, subject to vetting, will be part of the budget amendment process and included in the final budget adoption.
Thank you. Anyone else? like to come up? Okay, seeing no one else, I will formally close this portion of the meeting. For the purpose of commenting on any matter, kindly state your name and town of residence for the record and adhere to the 5-minute time limit.
Good evening, Chairwoman Carter, Pro Tem Bruce Patterson, Garwood, New Jersey. And, the past couple of meetings I've been yelling about finances. And, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. You're new here, I'll wait for Mayor Bella to come, maybe I'll yell at him some more. But anyway, I mean, we're looking at a serious problem here. One that obviously this county government system and the political bosses behind it have created. I'm just going to bring up the fact about that health benefits for life, the $100 million that is glaringly hitting us in the face right now with the millions of dollars in health insurance costs that are coming out, that you really squeeze the budget about. It really, this is part of it. This is part of it. And something tells me that some serious thought really has to go in to crafting the government system itself moving forward. I mean, just for example, I'm starting to see now this dispatch services, and yes, maybe there's a weak link with the CENTCOM closing, and that towns are now coming forth to shared services on dispatching. Maybe it's irrelevant, maybe they're not related, but still, towns are joining in on dispatching. And I think at this time, and I've mentioned this many other times before, but it appears if we're going in a direction where more and more towns are like consolidating some kind of shared services with the county, and this county as it is right now is hurting. And like I said, I've complained about possible inexperience at governing the county, that maybe we should move forward from now on with some kind of districting of the county to have a more in-depth representation and varied representation. Because at this point, I'm looking at a political boss system, and everybody's not going to deny that kind of controls the county government. And this we do have problems with. All I can say is this is not political at all, because obviously, I mean, let's talk political parts. I mean, there's Republicans and there's Democrats, and on the Democrat side, there's actually two other Democrat groups. So that do not see eye to eye with the regular Democrats that are in power. Chairwoman Carter even knows about that, because one of the groups hails from Plainfield. The other one, I guess, is an Elizabeth group, Democrats for Change, which you have to wonder about them. But obviously they have a say, and they want to put themselves forward with their issues, and the Republicans, of course, too. Your vehement opposition. But I think it's time to seriously think moving forward about districting the county, and again, to have an in-depth say. The people out there at this point, and I've pointed this out to you, that 13 out of, this year's 13 out of 21 towns. The other year it was 14 out of 21 towns. But these towns, the majority of towns which you are supposed to service, this is your job, is actually servicing the town level, not going over the town level's head to service the residents themselves, but the towns. And 13 out of 21 towns last year in the general election actually said that they do not want the incumbent freeholders. They voted for the opposition, which were the Republicans. Maybe a lot of people kind of bit the bullet and pulled the Republican lever, I don't know. But we got major problems. We're looking at a budget moving forward that is laying off 10% of the workforce. I know you'll probably jigger it a little bit and bring some back. Hopefully the corrections officer anything. $350,000 in savings would definitely go a long way. But we have a structural deficiency here, and I think it is getting out of, you're becoming disconnected from the people. You are thinking more along the lines of a government entity in and of itself, and as the watchdog many times I stood up here and pointed out the rampant waste, abuse, cronyism, relatives, a whole laundry list, which I'm not going to go into, but I seriously think that a dialogue should actually start. And yes, Freeholder Sullivan has said there's not many counties that way, but I think it's about time we come to an awakening that the system as it is not working properly, and that districting would go a long way in helping. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Nazi.
Freeholder Sullivan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a couple of quick things. Just wanted to report, as part of our efforts to provide the public with better access to information about county services, last year we relaunched Vintage Views, our TV show for seniors, which airs on TV 34 in Union Township. And I'm pleased to report that the results have been well received, and Vintage Views has been nominated for a JAM Award for Excellence in Public Access. JAM is an important new regional video festival, and we are very proud that Union County is represented there. I would also like to note that Freeholder Kowalski recently participated in a News 12 feature on the history of our county seal, which won an Emmy Award in the politics and the government category. Vintage Views, the county seal story, and many other videos about Union County programs and services are available on the video channel at www.ucnj.org. That's ucnj.org. So we invite you to take a look at that. I just want to respond briefly to a couple of comments that Mr. Patterson made. And we go back and forth all the time, and I enjoyed a great deal about this whole thing about districting and freehold districts and what have you. And I've been on record to say I'm not opposed to districting. It was the same for every county in the state of New Jersey. But the idea that that would happen is never going to happen. Just as an anecdote, just before Governor McGreevy became governor, there was an attempt by the Republican legislature to impose districting in Union County, just for Union County. And that failed because they knew the election was over, and that everything had changed and the Democrats were taking over. And they said, well, if you do that to Union County, we're going to do that to Somerset and Morris and everyone else. And they dropped the whole idea. So the idea that, like I said, districting, that creates, in my mind, a permanent minority. The other thing that bothers me, what he says, is that towns voted against us. The towns don't vote, the people vote in all these individual towns. And if a town like Summit or what have you, or New Providence votes against it, it's probably because there's more Republicans than there are Democrats there. And there's more Democrats in a town like Elizabeth or Roselle or Plainfield. So there you have it.